You look at a female cat, and it is easy to think you already understand her. She is smaller. She is quieter. She seems more serious. Maybe even a little harder to please. So many people make the same mistake. They think a female cat is just a male cat in a smaller body, with a little more attitude. But that is not what you are looking at. A female cat is often living by a different set of rules. She does not just move differently. She watches differently. She chooses differently. She hides stress differently. She shows trust differently. And that is why so many owners misunderstand her. What looks cold may actually be caution. What looks distant may actually be control. What looks moody may be a body, a brain, and a survival system working in a very different way from what most people expect. A male cat may walk into a space and react. A female cat often studies the space first. She measures it. She remembers it. She decides if it is safe before she gives anything of herself away. That is not rudeness. That is intelligence shaped by instinct. Once you see that, so many small things start to make sense. The way she stares, the way she waits, the way she gives her trust in tiny pieces instead of all at once. And if you have ever thought, why is my female cat so hard to read? Comment, I was wrong, because you are not the only one. Because the truth is not that female cats are harder. It is that they are more subtle. 1. Female cats often form the stable core. Many people look at a bigger male cat and think, that must be the boss. It sounds logical. He is larger. He looks bold. He may row more. He may act like he owns the place. But in many cat groups, the real stable center is often the female cat. Male cats often move in and out more. Their behavior can be more focused on roaming, mating, and reacting to what is around them. Female cats are often different. They are more likely to build the safe circle, protect the familiar space, and decide who truly belongs inside it. That is why a female cat can seem strict. She may not welcome new people fast. She may not like sudden change. She may watch from a distance before coming closer. Many owners call that attitude. But the deeper truth is simpler. She is not trying to be difficult. She is trying to keep order. In a cat's world, safety matters more than being friendly. So if your female cat seems very selective, do not force fast introductions. Let her study. Let her decide. Let trust happen at her speed. That is often how female cats protect the world they believe is theirs. If your female cat acts like she has her own house rules, comment 6. 2. Smaller body, different fuel, different risks. One of the easiest differences to see is size. In most cases, female cats are smaller than male cats. Their bones are usually lighter. Their bodies often look narrower, softer, and less bulky. A male cat may look broad and heavy. A female cat may look neat and compact. But this is where many people stop thinking too soon. A female cat is not just a smaller cat. Her body often works differently too. Female cats usually carry less muscle than males, and their bodies can store fat in different ways. That means changes in shape can be easy to miss. Your cat may still look fine at first, even when her weight, strength, or body condition is slowly changing. This matters because many owners judge health with one quick look. They see a small cat and think, she is just naturally tiny. Sometimes that is true. Sometimes it is not. Female cats also often live a little longer than males. That sounds comforting, but it should not make you careless. A longer average life does not mean lower risk. Female cats can face serious health problems of their own, especially around the reproductive system and mammary glands. That is why quiet body changes matter so much. A small drop in appetite, a different body shape, less jumping, lower energy, or unusual lumps should never be ignored. And if your female cat is not spayed, that is another important point to think about. Spaying can reduce biological stress and lower the risk of some serious health problems later in life. So do not only ask, is she eating? Also ask, is her body changing? Is her energy changing? Is she still moving like herself? Because with female cats, small physical changes can carry big meaning. 3. Why calicos and tortoiseshells are usually female. Some of the most striking cats in the world are usually female. Think about calico cats and tortoiseshell cats. They often have bold patches of orange, black, and sometimes white. Their coats look almost painted. And behind that beauty is a very important biological difference. The genes for orange and black fur are linked to the X chromosome. A female cat usually has 2 X chromosomes. That gives her the chance to carry both color instructions at once. A male cat usually has only 1 X chromosome, so he is much less likely to show that same mix of colors. That is why almost all calico and tortoiseshell cats are female. Very rarely, a male cat can have those colors too, but that usually happens because of an unusual genetic condition. So when you see a calico or tortoiseshell cat, you are usually looking at a female. Many people also say these cats have a strong attitude. Some call it tortitude. Not every calico or tortoiseshell cat will act the same, but many owners do notice something memorable about them. They can be bold, clear, vocal, and very sure of what they want. So do not choose one only because the coat is pretty. You may also be bringing home a cat with a very strong sense of self. If you have ever lived with a calico or tortoiseshell queen, comment 8. 4. Her brain often leans toward precision. There is another difference many people never notice, because it looks so small. Some studies suggest that female cats are more likely to favor the right paw, while male cats are more likely to favor the left. You may see it when a cat reaches for food, taps a toy, or steps down from a surface. That may sound like a tiny detail, but it points to something bigger. Female cats often seem more careful in the way they act. They do not always rush in. They pause. They judge distance. They study movement. Then they make one clean decision. This is why a female cat can seem slow when she is really being precise. She is not always hesitating. She is often calculating. That matters in daily life. If you bring home a new toy, a new pet, or even move furniture around, do not expect instant acceptance. Give her time to watch first. For many female cats, trust does not begin with action. It begins with observation. 5. Heat is not drama. It is a biological loop. This is one of the most misunderstood parts of having a female cat. When a female cat goes into heat, many people think she is suddenly acting strange, loud, needy, or dramatic. But she is not doing this to be difficult. Her body is pushing her through a very strong biological cycle. She may cry loudly. She may rub against walls, furniture, and your legs again and again. She may roll on the floor. She may seem restless, upset, or desperate to get outside. To a human, it can look like bad behavior. To the cat, it is pressure. Female cats are induced ovulators. That means the body does not release eggs in the same way people often imagine. The cycle can keep coming back if she is not mated and not spayed. So for some cats, this is not one hard moment. It becomes a repeating loop. That is why this matters so much. If you punish a female cat in heat, you are not stopping a bad habit. You are adding fear to a body that is already under stress. So do not yell. Do not shame her. Do not assume she is just acting up. Keep the home calm. Make sure doors and windows are secure. And if she is not spayed, talk to your vet about whether spaying is the right step for her. Because heat is not attitude. It is biology that can feel overwhelming from the inside. 6. She watches before she moves. A male cat may react fast. A female cat often does something different first. She watches. You may see her sitting on a high shelf, a chair, a window ledge, or the top of the stairs. She stays still. She looks around the room. She follows your steps. She notices who comes in, who leaves, what sound happened, and what changed. To many people, this can look cold or distant, but that is usually not what is happening. A female cat is often gathering information before she decides what to do. She is making a quiet map of the home. She is learning your routine. She is checking if a space still feels safe. That is why sudden change can bother her more than you think. If you move furniture, bring in guests, change feeding times, or add new smells, she may not panic on the outside. She may simply go still and watch longer. That does not mean she feels nothing. It often means she feels a lot, but she is processing it carefully. So help her by keeping daily life steady when you can. Give her a quiet, high place to sit. Let her observe before you ask her to join in. For many female cats, safety begins with knowing what to expect. 7. Even without kittens, the protective side can appear. One of the most touching things about many female cats is this. The caring side can show up even if they have never had kittens. You get sick. You stay in bed longer. You move more slowly. And somehow, your female cat seems to notice. She may lie closer than usual. She may follow you from room to room. She may sit nearby and watch you in a quiet, steady way. Some owners think this is a coincidence. Sometimes it is. But often, a female cat is very sensitive to changes in the body, routine, and energy of the home. If you look weak, tired, sad, or less active, she may respond by staying near you more often. That does not mean she understands illness the way a human does, but it does mean you matter inside her world. In her eyes, you may not just be the one who fills the bowl. You may be part of a space she wants to keep safe. So if your female cat becomes extra gentle or stays close when you are not well, do not brush it off too quickly. It may be one of the quietest forms of care she knows how to give. 8. Small body, sharp hunter. In the wild, size is not everything. Many people assume the bigger cat should be the better hunter. But with female cats, the advantage is often different. They are usually smaller, lighter, and more flexible. That can make them extremely efficient when the target is small, fast, and hard to predict. A female cat often does not waste movement. She stays low. She waits longer. She studies the timing. Then she explodes forward in one quick, exact burst. That is why many female cats seem almost obsessed with certain toys. A feather that flicks like a bird. A string that darts like a mouse. A small object that moves, stops, and moves again. Those patterns wake up something deep in the hunting brain. To a human, it may look like sudden excitement, but to her, it feels like a job she was built to do well. So if your female cat ignores slow, boring play, do not assume she is lazy. Try toys that let her stalk, pause, hide, and pounce. Many female cats do not want random movement. They want prey that feels real enough to outsmart. 9. She marks the home in quieter ways. When people think about cats marking territory, they usually picture a male cat spraying. That is the loud version. Female cats often do something much quieter. They rub their cheeks on the table corner. They press their chin against a chair. They slide their face along your hand, your leg, or the edge of the wall. It looks sweet, and it is. But it is also communication. Female cats have scent glands around the face and chin. When they rub those places on objects, they leave behind a soft chemical message. It is like saying, "This is familiar. This is safe. This belongs in my world." That is why this behavior matters more than people think. A female cat does not always need a big show to claim space. She often does it with quiet repetition. Little touches, little passes, small scent notes placed around the home, like invisible reminders. So do not clean away every familiar smell too aggressively. And if you move house or change furniture, keep a few known blankets, beds, or fabric items nearby. For many female cats, comfort is not just about what they see. It is also about what still smells like home. 10. Female cats hide pain too well. This is one of the most serious things you need to understand about a female cat. She may be in pain long before you realize it. That is because cats are built to hide weakness. And many female cats do this especially well. In the wild, showing pain can make an animal look vulnerable. So instead of crying loudly or showing clear signs right away, a female cat may stay quiet and try to look normal. That is what makes this so dangerous. She may still sit near you. She may still eat a little. She may still walk through the house. But small things begin to change. She jumps less. She lies in a strange position. She stops grooming one area. She pulls away when touched. She moves more slowly. She becomes quieter than usual. Many owners wait for a big sign. But with female cats, the big sign often comes late. So do not only watch for dramatic behavior. Watch for the tiny changes in posture, movement, grooming, appetite, and energy. Those small shifts are often the body speaking in the only safe way it knows. And if something feels off for more than a short time, do not wait and hope. Let a veterinarian check her, because when a female cat finally shows obvious pain, she may have already been carrying it alone for much longer than you think. 11. When she chooses you, the bond is deep and specific. A female cat may not love in the most obvious way. She may not greet every person. She may not ask for attention from everyone in the room. She may not try to win every heart. And that is exactly why her bond can feel so powerful. Many female cats are more selective with trust. They do not always spread their affection widely. Instead, they often choose carefully. One person may become the center of safety, routine, and quiet comfort in her world. When that happens, the signs can look small. She follows you, but not loudly. She sits near you, even when she could be somewhere else. She gives you slow blinks. She answers you with soft little sounds she does not use with everyone. She stays close in a calm, steady way. To some people, that may not look dramatic enough to count as love. But with a female cat, the smaller signs often mean more. She is not always trying to impress you. She is letting you into a private part of her world. So do not measure her bond by how clingy she looks. Measure it by how specifically she chooses you. Because when a female cat truly gives you her trust, it often feels less like a performance and more like being quietly chosen. Conclusion: a female cat is not just a harder version of a male cat. She is not colder, meaner, or more complicated for no reason. She is often more watchful, more exact, more private, and more careful about where she gives her trust. That is why she can be misunderstood so easily. What looks like distance may really be caution. What looks like silence may be pain. What looks like attitude may be a strong body, strong instincts, and a mind that is always checking if the world feels safe. When you understand that, you stop trying to make a female cat act easier. You start helping her feel safer. And that changes everything. She does not give herself away quickly. She lets you earn your place, little by little, in a world she protects very carefully. Because a female cat does not always love loudly. But when she truly trusts you, that quiet trust can become one of the deepest bonds you will ever feel. She was never harder to love. She was simply asking to be understood the right way. Conclusion: a female cat is not just a harder version of a male cat. She is not colder, meaner, or more complicated for no reason. She is often more watchful, more exact, more private, and more careful about where she gives her trust. That is why she can be misunderstood so easily. What looks like distance may really be caution. What looks like silence may be pain. What looks like attitude may be a strong body, strong instincts, and a mind that is always checking if the world feels safe. When you understand that, you stop trying to make a female cat act easier. You start helping her feel safer. And that changes everything. She does not give herself away quickly. She lets you earn your place, little by little, in a world she protects very carefully. Because a female cat does not always love loudly. But when she truly trusts you, that quiet trust can become one of the deepest bonds you will ever feel. She was never harder to love. She was simply asking to be understood the right way.